My name is Dobay. I was born in Hungary and I came to this country after the Hungarian Revolution in 1956. I paint, I do have an idea, a feeling, but I am not certain and I don't want to be certain of the end, of the result, because I would like my subconscious to come to the surface, and by that I have a chance to grow and I have a chance to be surprised what I produced on the canvas.
Monrovia is a quaint community nestled in Southern California and has been home to Susan Dobay for several years. In her foothill residence, she has a studio where she paints on a regular basis, a new dimension of her vibrant talent.
The way I feel generally with arts, that you do have something within, that you have a desire or an urge that has to, you have to express it. Now some people have good voice, some people acting, or we can go writing and whatever, but first you have to have an essence, something that drives you, that you have to express yourself. When I was a little girl, I thought I wanted to be an actress, and they were bombing during the war, and in the basement or wherever we were hiding, I started to sing and dance, and it made me feel so good that other people around me would enjoy it. My father was an artist, so I imagine I inherited that talent. And especially when I came in Hungary, if I would have stayed,
and was invited to exhibit her work at museums in the Los Angeles area.
I worked several years for different agencies and newspapers. One of the newspapers were the Pasadena Star News, where I did the fashion column. And I did pretty well financially, but somehow that didn't give me enough satisfaction. I couldn't express myself. And I turned towards the fine arts, and ever since I've been painting constantly. Actually, it started out, we had a friend whose name is Malvina Nurat, and she is a fine artist, and at that time she had her studio in the Hollywood Hills in a Frank Lloyd Wright building. And at that time, I think, I'm not precise, but I think it was 63 or 64, that she invited me to exhibit my commercial artwork, which were previously exhibited at the Museum of Science and Industry. And she asked me if I could exhibit those illustrations at her place. And I said, oh, sure, I will be very glad to, but at the same time I started out, I said to myself, she was exhibiting also with her students in her beautiful Frank Lloyd Wright building. And so I said I might as well try to make a few fine paintings to express myself. And actually that's how it started, that I got hooked on the so-called fine art painting. So I did several paintings, and she liked them and she exhibited them. And I know I said before that financial matters and fine art don't mix together, but still I was very pleased that the first time that I exhibited my fine art paintings, a lady came in with her bodyguards and she says, oh, I like that painting. And so, they saw the painting of mine. That was my first positive experience.
Susan Dobay's endeavor as a painter began on a whim, but the public's warm response propelled her into the world of fine arts. One exhibit followed another, and she enjoyed her success. Yet behind this well-received painter, there has always been a thinker, willing to risk self-introspection and to share her philosophy and opinion with others.
When I started out painting and expressing myself, those paintings, the subject matters I selected that would be During these almost 30 years, there were different periods, you might say, that I went through different changes. But if you are asking me the question, what am I doing now? It's not that strong fight and struggle in my paintings, although I still feel what's going around me, the suffering and the pain, but somehow through the metaphysical search that I have been doing, I find that all those misery are appearances, and you as an individual, you do have a choice that you can find peace within. So hopefully my paintings at the present time reflect that mood also. But if you look into my paintings, you still see the questions that I would like to ask. I would like to draw your attention. For example, one of my paintings have cheerful colors, but still there is the gun. And there are the different colored hands, which represents the different kind of races of humanity that's still reaching and still using the gun. I don't make a statement, I make it dark and miserable, because maybe we have to go through this during our evolution, maybe. But I would like you to think about it. Why is that gun? Why are those hands reaching still for the gun at the end of the 20th century? But I don't suffer, I accept it. I can do as much as I can do. But right now I am not like when I was young or younger, that I torture myself for it. I just make as an observer a statement, or I put my feelings down. I started to read Emerson and Thoreau and Jung, who was a contemporary with Freud, but Jung is doing looking at psychology from a different point of view. Jung is looking more of spiritual and more uplifting way. And also Otto Rank, I am reading a lot from Otto Rank, and since he was an artist, he can analyze very well the function and the question of how to be, yes, because there are so many books of how to be, but how to. An artist has a very complex, I would say, very complex psychological way that the artist put together. So artists need sometimes to read or to be with people who are concerned with the same questions. I don't feel that you are creating only when you are actually doing the physical work. I think whatever you do, it's going to come out on your artistic expression. It's a need for me to meditate. When I was asking myself, am I an exhibitionist that I have to exhibit my work, or what is the real reason? And the more I think about it, the more I see that I would like to give to people just a little percentage of what I received from great writers, musicians, all the art that I could receive. I would like to give back a little. So I think that's the closest again I can express that what is my dream about with my art or through my art.
There is always a sense of purpose driving Susan Dobay. She has been honored with an exhibition at the United Nations Women's Conference and with her participation in the American Album, which features this country's best-known women artists. However, Susan Dobay is not one to rest on her laurels. New themes continue to find expression through her paint, brush, and canvas. Her energy flows from an ongoing personal journey filled with challenges and discovery.
We have an obligation to ourselves to really do whatever is important on this stage that we are on, this planet, because it is an exercise, it is an experience, and we owe it to ourselves to satisfy something that you call the inner, the within. I would say right now, it's easier for me, and thanks God I still have the energy to paint and do all those things that I did when I was young, but I should say even with more time that I can dedicate to it, and so I am very fortunate. Recently I have been exhibiting in Hungary. I had my third exhibition at the Vasarely Museum, which was a great thrill and experience for me, because to show in Hungary is like you're going home and you show your parents, look at me, what did I bring you, or what did I accomplish, and they were very receptive, and that was a very nice, beautiful experience for me and for my family also, although my children were not there, but my husband was, and I think he was very proud and happy for me. Yes, I left Hungary when I was a very young woman. Hungary has changed, so did I change. So right now I would say that my roots are more here in this land, and when I go back to Hungary, it's still a warm and beautiful feeling to be with the Hungarian people, and I was elected to be a member of the World Federation of Hungarian Artists. Actually, the World Fair is going to be held in Hungary 1996. And the World Federation of Hungarian Artists are going to exhibit, so that's another exciting happening. I do have an upcoming show. I'm excited, you see, because I do love to share my work. I think it's hopefully a very natural way that you would like to share whatever you do with your fellow human beings. So in Richland, Washington, I am going to have an exhibition in '95. All my life I tried to find a balance between the abstract and the obvious. So that way, if I find a balance on my paintings, I would be closer to the truth, what we call the truth. My biggest goal is, as long as possible, to find myself as long as I am alive, and I think my art is a great tool, and it's helping me to do just that. I am a Hungarian American.